And the same thing goes for women. It's called, that's my sis, that's my sis. And I'm telling you, sis gonna mean strong, independent, and single. Sis is going to mean strong, independent, and single if you keep listening to your little sisterhood crew on the side who ain't got nothing going on for themselves and been doing the same thing every single day of the week. Welcome to another episode of Chelsea's Live Line. I'm so excited to see y'all here tonight. Thank y'all for supporting me each and every Wednesday as we get into another topic for tonight. Black women, and I have to say this word, but I'm saying it as the word rolls off my tongue, and I'm saying to myself that I don't have any energy, any excitement when I say black women because of really a lot of the things that we've done to ourselves. Not what anybody has stereotyped us to be, because we have lived up. Some of us have lived up to most of these stereotypes, unfortunately. That's where we're at today. That's why I want to get into tonight's episode, talking about black women specifically because of what I saw at the EBT Awards. I didn't say the BET Awards, y'all. I said the EBT Awards because it was looking low quality. It was given black demise. It was given, I don't know what to do with my time. I wasted hours looking at the BET Award, thinking that I would leave enlightened, thinking that I would leave with excitement about what we're doing to be able to negate the stereotypes that we face each and every day. But no, it was a ghetto mess at best. It was a mess. It was the worst thing you could do. Other folks are laughing at us as they see the replays. And I'm not mad at them. I'm not mad at them because we set ourselves up for failure. Y'all got to do better than this, to say the least. And I'm going to give a shout out to Janesta, of course, for showing love with the $5, starting it off. And I appreciate you for being here, saying, Sis Chelsea's Live Line and family, I'm here for it. Well, I appreciate you, sis, for that. Thank you so much. You know, Mona be on top of her duties already as the moderator of the year, the century, the decade, all that good stuff, right? So I appreciate her always. But she said she's going to be talking about this on an upcoming video as well, because she said we need to call out these ratchet women. It's an epidemic. I just want to know where it started from. I guess I'm too young to find out when did the ratchet behavior start, because I'm used to seeing women carry themselves in a certain way, such as the Diane Carrolls, Cicely Tysons. All these women carried themselves a certain way. They dressed from head to toe. Literally, Cicely Tyson wouldn't take certain roles in movies because she realized that taking those roles wouldn't help the black image. But no, she cared about the black image more than she cared about the money. Look at us today. We don't care about our image. We care about the money that we get from what we're doing because we're thinking about temporary success instead of that eternal happiness that we can get. I'm going to get into the word of the day before I dissect this topic. Because, honey, I'm excited. I'm excited because we are a mess. And I got to call it out right now. I've given women a chance to get it together. I've been trying to tell y'all what to do. Y'all not listening. So I got to get into it. I'm going to get started with the word of the day first, coming from 1 Timothy chapter 2, verse 9. And I see y'all lit in that chat already. Thank y'all for being here. 1 Timothy 9:2-9 says the following, y'all. I also want the women to dress modestly. Out the window. With decency and propriety. Adorning themselves. Yeah, they're adorning themselves, but for the wrong reasons. But not with these elaborate hairstyles or gold or pearls or expensive clothes. The reason I ask y'all, will the real black women please stand up? The reason I ask y'all this is because when you look at us and everything that comprises of a black woman, what percentage of you is real? Is your hair real? Is your body real? Just want to know, what percentage of you is real? Are you 100% real? Is your attitude real? All that adds up to who you are. You got to add in all that it takes. And we're going to call it out today. Is your personality real? Are you snapping on people real quick? What are you doing that's making you be this authentic black woman? If you're not being 100% you, then you know you being somebody else. You being Malia from Malaysia. You being this woman from Asia, from all these different continents, from India. Because you got on her hair. Give her back what belongs to her. And then we could talk about how real you are. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real on that. Give what belongs to the other races back to them, and then we could talk about being authentic. Until then, we can't say we are as real. I'm 100% real, this and that. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. And the thing about it is that you already wrecked yourself. That's why I'm having this conversation today. Because I felt like watching the BET Awards was a straight slap in the face. And it still hurt. It still hurt. It was a slap in the face because I thought we could do better. We have the resources. Y'all didn't have to do this to me. We had the resources to make this BET Awards be something legendary. Shout out to Busta Rhymes. I don't have his particular clip, but on his acceptance speech of his award that he got at the BET Awards, he was saying that we got to do more than doing this twerking and talking about how much people we slept with and this and that. We got to do better. We got to do better as a community. So I appreciate him. The OGs actually had something to say back in the day in their songs. Think about that song by The Whispers, right? Olivia the slave got distracted on the way to grandmother's house. Okay, what that was about. Olivia got distracted on her way to do what she needed to do because the pimp distracted her. A wolf in lamb's clothing came, blew her mind, and changed her way. And now she's turned out. Lost and turned out. Y'all know the song. I ain't got to sing no more. Y'all know about Olivia because The Whispers told y'all these women were supposed to be in their lane focusing, but all of a sudden they decided to get distracted, get distracted. This needs to be in Merriam. This needs to be in Merriam-Webster Dictionary. Distracted, because that's what happens when you're not focused on your grind and you let a man come in and ruin who you thought you were going to be. Stay in your lane and you can get to your destination safely. But when you are over here getting distracted on your way to grandma's house, nothing good comes from that. Now she's turned out. There are so many women today who are turned out that need to just literally twist their mindset. They need to literally reset on everything they've learned. Hit the reset button, hard reset, so we can get back to the main agenda. So let me stop what I'm doing with my rant before I really go in. And I want to give a shout out to everybody that's showing love. First and foremost, shout out to my auntie Carolyn. I appreciate you so much for the 20 ball. Thank you for the super sticker. Thank you because you didn't have to do that. I appreciate you. And that's the thing about family is that I have my selective family members I deal with and I appreciate y'all. But some folks, look, this show has been on here for 3 years, on and off, but it's been on here for 3 years, right? And some family members, you have to like beg to come to your stuff, and I'm not about that anymore. I got family on here who are not even family, but have shown me more love than blood could ever show me. That's why I don't say that saying blood is thicker than water. No, it's a case-by-case basis around here, and you have to be selective about who you call family. But I just appreciate you so much, especially with everything that's going on in your life. And, you know, I'm praying for you for sure. But I appreciate you so much for just sowing that seed into Chelsea's Live line. So thank you so much, Auntie Carolyn. And I got to give you a dance like I give everybody else a dance, you know, when I do my little 20 ball dance. All right, let's see what I can do.
20s, count that. Hey. 100s, count that. Dollars, count that. Money.
Okay, thank you so much for the love. I appreciate you so much. I also want to give a shout out to everybody else that's in the chat, such as Chavis. Thank you so much, Chavis, for the 10 ball. You said, my guess is that the harlot culture was put on by movies like Babs. Even though I love Babs, y'all know they was looking to mess them long nails and them elaborate hairstyles. Y'all know how Babs went down, but I do love that movie because of the fact that they, you know, really turned themselves around and just did good things. I like Babs. That was my movie. We said add in Freaknik. That's a good point. 2 Live Crew. Uncle Luke. Uncle Luke was performing at the BET Awards talking about all the stuff he be talking about. I'm not going to even talk about it today. But the women are twerking in the audience. Literally, gospel artist Bobby Jones. Gospel artist Bobby Jones was in the crowd. And I'm saying to myself, all he had to see was butt cheeks during the BET Awards. And I don't know who told him to come to this award show. I don't know. But literally, like you said, the 2 Live Crew, and they were showing black women in a wild way. Don't forget reality shows like Flavor of Love and Love and Hip Hop. Oh yeah, that's true. Flavor of Love, because literally from Detroit, y'all, my Detroit folks in the building, where Delicious was on the show Flavor of Love. She was trying to get with Flavor Flav. When I heard Flavor Flav actually decided to move to Detroit or move to Michigan for a little bit. So whatever to that. But those shows did set women up for failure because they were literally doing anything to get a man's attention on these shows, fighting other women. That's a good point. It started there. It started from all these shows where women were battling each other, trying to access one man. And that's the same thing today. But the thing about it, no cameras are rolling. That's the difference between today and back then, is that they had the cameras rolling, they acted, they did all this, they made a fool out of themselves for the money. But look at them today. A lot of these women, the women we don't know about, women around the block, they are making a fool out of themselves and ain't getting $1 for it. At least put a price tag on it if you're going to do it. And like I told people before, 40 ball is not enough. 40 ball is not enough for me to lose my dignity. It's called discipline. It's called, even when I don't have a man to submit to as a single woman, I still got a man to submit to. His name is Jesus. And if you can't remember all them letters, God. How about that? God. That's what I submit to before any man possible. Y'all make a fool out of yourselves, but y'all gonna go back at home to be sleeping in the bed all by yourselves, hoping that you'll get more attention the next day. Goodness. But then y'all want to be the ones to say, I want a child without a father, and then say, oh, you don't need to see your daddy. But look at you. Look at the results that you produce by not seeing yours. So you think you want to reproduce the same cycles over and over again. Goodness, love and hip hop. And I told y'all before, this is lust and hip hop. I don't see no love. Love ain't got nothing to do with it. And speaking of love ain't got nothing to do with it, we're not giving Patti LaBelle a pass because Patti La failed. Patti La failed when it came to Tina Turner's tribute. If y'all saw that on the BET Awards. That's another thing. We got to respect the legends. And she did not do her job as a legend, Patti. Stick to the pie. Stick to what you do. Voulez-vous coucher avec moi? Stick to that. But you cannot be disrespecting Tina Turner like that instead of getting a tribute together. But y'all want to let Patti ruin the one song that she was supposed to perform for Tina Turner. But y'all gonna let all these fools get up here and twerk. And I don't even know who these new women are. I feel like I'm getting old because I don't know who these new they acting for real, but these new singers, new rappers, who are they? You got Lotto, Ice Spice, Callie, I don't know, all these different women. They all look the same because they all buying their hairs from the same places. They caked up with the makeup, but we need to be real out here. And I tell you all the time, media is the most effective devil in America. That's what it stands for. Most effective devil in America. What you feed through here and here determines a lot about you. It determines a lot about you because you don't have to invest in giving these fools the attention that they do not deserve. All right, I'm going to keep going in, but I'm going to just give a shout out real quick to Eric for the $5 super sticker. I appreciate you as always. Thank you for the love. Thank you. And shout out to Successful Melanated Dusty as well. He said, there is so much acting and pretending today. Yes, it is. In my opinion, it takes too much energy to pretend. And that's the thing about it. We're about to go back into time. We're going to talk a little bit about what started these stereotypes. Why did black women feel like they needed to act like they were white women? Why did these stereotypes exist? And what can we do to erase them? Because we literally need to do something right now. I don't even want to claim, I'm not checking the black race when I'm doing my freaking surveys. I'm not checking black. I'm checking other because I'm not fitting into that category, if you understand. Like, I claim my blackness. You already obviously know that. I don't been called an Oreo before, but I do claim my blackness. Y'all know that. And the thing about it is that it's a difference, I guess, between a black female and a black woman. We ain't got that many black women left, but it's a few in the chat, so I appreciate them. I appreciate y'all. Because y'all know, y'all got reputations out here. Y'all got people that y'all are representing. God, y'all families, the legacies y'all are creating. So y'all are thinking about the bigger picture. It's all about the framing. Y'all know it takes a second. It takes a lifetime to build up a reputation and a second to lose it. So many people's reputation already at 20 years old is gone. Because it's all on the internet. I'm not saying they weren't acting a fool back then, but it's a different time now because you can be easily exposed due to a camera, due to that phone that you use 24/7. What you put out there for the world to see may not be deleted. It can be deleted on the user interface what others see, but it's not deleted behind the scenes. It's stored in a database. And people can retrieve that. And it can come back to haunt you years later when you have people that are on OnlyFans, whether you selling told pictures, you selling whatever you selling on there, it can be retrieved. And that dignity sometimes can never be retrieved. That's why I say pick your choice. I'd rather be that woman that has to grind being a janitor at night, making minimum wage, but I have my maximum dignity, than to be somebody on OnlyFans doing anything for a dollar sign, to lose my dignity and have to rebuild that up, knowing that people are judging me on a daily basis because of the small-minded decisions that I made. I'm tired of it. I'm so sick because when you think about it, what hope do we have for women? What hope? I'm tired of being grouped up to everybody else, grouped up with everybody else. We are not the same, ma'am. We are not the same. Whew. So that's the first thing. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. What I'm going to do real quick is get into the fact that there was a dentist in Ohio who decided to set some standards for her organization. But many are calling her a racist because she set standards for her organization. People don't realize, that's the thing about black folks and why we can't climb up this ladder, because we're setting our own selves up for failure. I know, for example, BET is now owned by Tyler Perry. And the question is, what does that mean? Congratulations to Mr. Perry for being able to acquire them, correct? If that statement is true. I've been hearing news that says it is. But what I'm wondering is that what does the future of BET look like? Because BET used to be holding itself to a certain standard. When you had Monique, who was hosting the BET Awards, that was lit, right? That was lit back in the day. But now, this show is getting longer and longer with fluff. No type of content. It's nothing going on that's positive for the community. And little kids are growing up on that. I used to love BET, 106 in Park, all of that. But today, all we have is these different shows on here. Sisters, all the Queen's Men. I don't even watch this stuff, but there's kids who are watching this. And what are they gaining from it? Because even when you don't think they're watching it, best believe they finding a way to access anything today. Kids can lie about their age. And then they get access to these different social media sites and parental guidance websites that they weren't supposed to get access to, but they can lie about their age. It's as simple as that. So stop exposing yourself and stop thinking just because you don't think your kids can access certain things doesn't mean that they don't know how to get access to it. I'm telling you, kids are smarter than we think they are, because at one point in time, we were a kid, and some of us, even though we have grown in age, we have not grown in mentality. We have not grown in mentality. And that's why we're raising juniors of us, which basically they're going to be acting just like us. We're going to be on the same level as them because we never grew up mentally. People be like, I'm grown just because I'm a certain age. But what does that mean as it relates to other areas of your life? The spirituality, the mentality. You still that little kid that you once were. You just look older. But this ain't grow at all. This is way back when I still wanted to be a kid. But we gotta separate ourselves from our childhood and turn into the women that we want to be. I'm speaking to the women right now, because we have to set the example. It all starts with the woman. I always tell you this because we are so quick to want to blame the men for what they are doing, but they only reacting to what we're doing. Just imagine if we weren't twerking on the BET Awards, then they wouldn't look forward to us doing that. They wouldn't be looking at us like, oh, I know she about to shake her behind. It's all up to us. Ain't nobody made you get up on that stage and do that. Let me know. Tell me when they made you get up on the stage and act a fool like that. You decided to do it because you think it's acceptable. You decided to do it because you ain't got a daddy that's stern enough to tell you, I don't care how old you are, you're not going to be making a fool out of me. We need that strictness back in the household. That's why these kids are so wild. But I'm going to get into it. Let me talk about this. First things first. And thank y'all for hitting that like button. Thank y'all for showing love. But first things first here is that this particular dentist by the name of Dr. Sutton has set some standards in her dentist's office. And you know what? As she should. As she should. Because if we don't set standards, then we got people coming into places naked thinking it's acceptable. But she said no bonnets, no house shoes, and no pajama bottoms. Doesn't that sound like an outfit that belongs at home? House shoes belong where, y'all? Can y'all tell me? Because people act like they don't understand basic English. But no house shoes means that house shoes belong in the house. Bonnets belong in your bedroom. All right? No pajama bottoms. It's as simple as that. I don't understand why y'all gotta come out here with them little, with the crust all in the lashes. Y'all coming out here looking real dusty, crusty and dusty, and got the 50 millimeter lashes on and whatnot, and just came out the bed, and red eyes is looking like they got an eye infection, all red and puffy. Because y'all put the stuff on here, don't know how to take it off, don't know how to care for it. And y'all scaring people because y'all can't even look, like y'all can't even open your eyes fully because you can't see. You could see clearly now when the lash is gone. Just saying. But who y'all trying to be? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Who started the last trend? I think it was the drag queens. Let me know. Let me know. But I think we need to set some standards. It's as simple as that, like Kia's saying in the chat. I love those standards because I have seen women come in the doctor's office dressed totally inappropriate. Right, inappropriate to us. Because we have standards already because we know we should look our best. Not just on Sunday, but every day of the week if we can. I'm not saying come out here fashion show ready. If you're doing that, good for you. But I'm saying come, look out, come. Just be presentable. Be presentable is what we ask of you. Maybe we need to start bringing etiquette class back into the gist of things, right? I went to etiquette school at one point in time where you learn where to put your napkin. You put your napkin in your lap, right? You put your hands under the table, right? And then you let the food come to you, not you bending down like a slouch and trying to grab the food. Y'all, we got to know about the basics of etiquette class. And I think that's what we got to do is go back to the basics. Go back to the basics of what worked for our generation. Because as soon as we get standards, then I think everybody won't be looking at us with the side eye. Nobody wants to see y'all come outside with the flip flops. I can't even get it together. But we don't want to see y'all come out here with the flip flops. We don't want that. I think y'all need to keep that stuff inside the house. To be presentable. What's wrong with some closed-toed shoes? What's wrong with some nice sandals? What's wrong with some clothes that aren't just skin tight? Sometimes you do need a little bit of room in some of these pants y'all got going on. Because some of y'all got these shapes that y'all gonna need a little bit of room. Because if you pass gas or something, them pants splitting. Bust it wide open. Like seriously, y'all be having that stuff so tight that nothing, air can't even flow through your pants. Seriously, like what is going on? Goodness, y'all, it's combustion, like it's too much going on to say the least. But I think that it's okay for this lady as a doctor as a dentist to have standards. For real, she should have standards. And people were saying that she's racist. That's what I want to do for y'all is bring up my screen to show y'all where they're talking about this woman is racist all because she has some standards. Let's take a look at this. Okay, here we go, full screen. All right, let's get into it, y'all. Wear proper underwear, wear proper everything, y'all. And don't be buying these rainbow leggings that you can see through. That's another thing. Can we please retire that? The leggings that you can see, the colored underwear that you have underneath it. Even if we can see, like, we see your cheeks, the dented cheeks that you have, we see those through the see-through leggings because they're so cheap. Level up your standards. Pay $10 for some leggings instead of paying $1 for the ones you get from Rainbow or something. Invest in what's necessary. I don't want to see 3,000 hair, but the rest of the clothes look like I don't care. I don't. Invest in this just as much as you invest in this. Oh my goodness. Oof, oof. All right, let me get into this. I'm just trying to say 3,000 here. I don't care everywhere else. Goodness, you're investing too much in that. You might as well get some stock. Find out how you can get some stock in this if that's what you're going to do. But to be spending your money with no investment, with baby hairs coming all the way down to the eyebrows, they're drawn on like this. Baby hairs this wide. Y'all are grown babies. Y'all are babies raising babies. You got to transition over to a period of time in which you think that I'm a grown woman. I'm not a baby anymore. So I don't think I need these big old swoops. Not like, you know how Whitney had that song, shoop, shoop. Nah, it's swoop, 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 swoop. That's what it's looking like. That's what it, like everyone, like every baby hair falls on your hair sometime. Sometimes it's wrong, sometimes it's right. But we need to exhale and get rid of these things because it's a fail. It's a fail. All right, let me get into it. She said the no bonnets, no house shoes, no pajamas bottoms, but I want to show y'all what the response was from her setting these standards. She's based in Ohio and she set these standards. And then people said when y'all claim signs like this are anti-black, right? It's a reflection of what you think black people are, right? Because if you think that all black people wear bonnets, all black people wear house shoes and pajama bottoms, then that means you're stereotyping black folks, right? I think there's some white people out here that wear bonnets, house shoes, and pajama bottoms. I know they wear pajama bottoms. They famous for that. Some of them do. I'm just saying, they be coming to school or coming to the grocery store with these dingy plaid pajama pants. Tell me, am I lying? Tell me, am I lying? I'm not. So that's not a all black thing. We're not going to do that today. We're not going to do that today. We're going to call out everybody, no matter who you are. But let me scroll down some more. People said it's flat out racist. She's a black woman telling other black people to do better because she wants her establishment to have class. For example, just like the BET Awards, where they have no dress code, right? At the BET Awards, let's think of the white equivalent. Where are white people? What award shows are white people acting like a fool at? And I'm just going to wait for y'all to tell me. I'm going to just wait. What's the equivalent of the BET Awards for white folks? Because I don't think there are any. You know why? Because they set a standard. The Oscars ain't going to be doing what BET did. And I think that if we have, I think one of the best award shows when it comes to R&B and hip hop per se is the Soul Train Awards. I think the Soul Train Awards does right by its people. I really do think that Soul Train Awards does a great job. I also think that Black Music Honors does a black job. Black Music Honors does a great job at actually honoring black folk. Stellar Awards, I'm guessing at times when they really playing gospel music and they not playing this hip hop gospel music or this new era gospel music I can't get with. I like gospel music where you can feel it. The Walter Hawkins, the Tremaine Hawkins, the Clark sisters, people like that. I like their music more so than I like the Thai tributes where you getting all hype and extra, and I just can't get with it. That's just my personal preference. I like something that dig into my soul, and I like them songs that just be really hit. That's just me. So what I'm saying is that I don't see the Oscars out here. The white women at the Oscars, they're not acting a fool. They set the standard for their events. But when we want to set the standard for our event, people want to call us out and say that we're being racist, say that this and that. You don't have to come. You don't have to come. Everything is not for everyone, right? Everything is not for everyone, but at the end of the day, you ain't got to show up if you don't like it. You can abide by the rules or don't show up. But for being mad at somebody who has standards, no, I don't think so. So that's the first thing. We get mad at this woman saying that she's racist. And people say, since when is it necessary to dress up to go to the dentist? And this looks like a white woman. This dentist should care that his or her patients are comfortable while getting treatment. I'd be happy if everyone wore a bonnet in the chair so the headrest is not full of hair products and sweat. If I got kicked out for wearing pajama bottoms to a root canal, I would Karen so hard on that place. Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. Anyway, this don't have nothing to do with you then. Okay? You get what I'm saying? Like, people have so much to say, but it really doesn't matter, to say the least. So back to my main point. Shout out to you, Dr. Sutton, okay? For making these people have to set a standard for themselves. All right. Shout out to Big. I see you in the chat. I appreciate y'all for being here. I do. It is the EBT Awards. It is. It's low standard. I don't know who these people performing are. They're always talking about the same thing and they're looking the same. That's why I can't get with it. Everybody you see has baby hairs. Everybody got the new wet and wavy weave that's out. The Malaysian persuasion. They got this new hair going on. We got to be different. I think that's the thing, women. If you literally don't look like the women who are at the BET Awards that are getting lusted after and whatnot, then you will find yourself attractive and you will find men who are attracted to you because you're being a real black woman. As I asked y'all, will the real black woman stand up? And I asked y'all, are there some real black women out here? And 90% of y'all said, yeah, I guess. Even though we have been stereotyped, right? Everybody thinks we are the same, but I know some women in here. Who are not the same as these women that are twerking every single place. Because I just got confused. Since when did rappers have to do twerking as well as rap? Let your talent be your talent. Can you show me a video, y'all, where MC Lyte, for example, was twerking while performing? Because she let her lyrics be her light. Get me? She let the lyrics be the main focus as to who she is. She let her voice sell. People always say sex sells, but at the end of the day, if you ain't rapping and you're supposed to be a rapper, nobody's going to pay attention to your rapping skills. They just going to, bob with you while they lusting after you because they see you twerking. I just think that you got to separate stripper from artist. If you're going to be a rapper, do that. That's why people like Rhapsody, the rapper named Rhapsody, she's a woman. For those who don't know her, she raps. She raps quality. But they don't want to hear that because she doesn't look like the supermodel type. Y'all get what I'm saying? Seriously, you said when she was trying to get her a roughneck, her voice was twerking. Ooh, goodness, that's funny. This is another example of, what's his name? Lil Baby's baby mama, Jada. I don't know if that's his girlfriend or not. But look at this, for example. She's twerking. Her son comes in and covers her up. I think somebody pushed him in front of her. But the point is, all she thinks is that she needs to go ahead and twerk her new BBL on the internet for y'all to see it. Let me do this real quick.
That's if that pussy trash on polo.
All I gotta do is put on my camera and start twerking my BB fail. Shout out to my mom for that one. But BB fail. I'm telling y'all. And the fact that her son is seeing her do this, that's not cute. That's nothing to be laughing at. So he can start lusting after women with big behinds because he see you doing that. Just like it's a lot of things I think that need to be set when it comes to boundaries for women and things like that. I just don't think your son needs to be exposed to that. No, he does not. No. What I'm going to do is expose these women, all right? But what I'm going to talk real quick about is these BB fails. I'm also going to talk about this video where it's talking about stereotypes. And we're going to see if these are really stereotypes or if black women are living up to them right now. So let's get into this video real quick. Let's see. All right, we're about to get into it in just a second, y'all. Thank y'all for staying tuned in to your girl's Chelsea Live Line. Yep, just let this intro play because they playing Mary J. I ain't got time for copyright. Here we go. Let's see. Okay, y'all still playing this. Okay. Get into it. All right.
Hello, and welcome to A Seat at the Table. I'm Christine White. Bougie, ratchet, ghetto are just a few of the labels that society places on black women.
I'm Deneen Milner, and if you are confused by those words, just stay with us. We'll explain to both you at home and those with us in the studio.
And I'm Monica Pearson. So what's wrong with loving your blackness, being outspoken, having black girl swag? What is so wrong with the way God made us?
No, not the average black girl, because the pigment in my skin is just a shade lighter than that black girl over there. You know the black girl over there, the black girl with the nappy hair, the black girls whose elbows can't skip a day without lotion, whose hearts and heads are filled up with self-hate and bottled up emotion. The cocoa brown girls who have to face society every day and be tough, because no matter how good they straighten their hair, their good is still not good enough. Oh, see, luckily for me, I don't fall in that category. See, they say I'm not the average black girl because I speak with so much class, and I don't have too much, but just enough ass, and not too much, but just enough pizzazz. You know, just a little bit of attitude, because you don't want to come off as one of those average black girls and come off as rude. You know, popping their gum and shaking their neck. Yeah, because those black girls get, like, no respect.
Well,
Black girls getting respect, that's an issue. There's a problem with the way that society portrays black women and the way that we're treated.
Before I even let her finish this point, I want to say that she said there's a problem with the way that society portrays black women. I don't think society is portraying us as anything anymore. I don't think that society is doing that. It starts with us. We have control. What people did to the black women back then, they didn't maybe deserve it back then. Some of the black women maybe back then didn't deserve it. But today, black women are moving so differently that I don't think that they're portraying us anyway. We are fully playing the part. Some of us, y'all know what I'm talking about. And I really want to separate. Once again, you got divisions here. Black female, black women. There's two separate categories. All right? Two separate categories. We know that majority of black people who are born as women, but you know, women that are born as girls, they fit into the female. There's a lot of black females is what I'm saying, representing us black women today because we're small, we're quiet. We're not in the limelight. But there's a lot of black females that's just loud and overpowering and overbearing, and that's where black women are just like, I can't make enough noise to overpower the noise of the black female. It's too much for me to keep up with. So I'm just going to be quiet and I'm going to just be reserved and I'm going to just keep doing what I do. So salute to the black women out there who know that black females, they don't speak, they don't act, they don't do nothing that represents what we do on a daily basis. Salute to y'all. Salute to y'all because I know some. I don't deal with women in my circle who have to beg for attention and go out here and twerk till there ain't nothing left. I know some women out here that's on a grind that are looking for husbands. Hello, I know women, of course, other than myself who are looking for husbands. And I'm saying that we're actively doing the work that is making us separate ourselves from the rest of the females who may look like our complexions, but ain't got no mentality like us. That ain't on the same level as us. They may have the degrees. They got the A in academics, but they got the D in dating. They got the D in determination. They got the D in mindset. It's a mess, to say the least. But I'm going to let her continue. But I'm just saying, I don't think society's portraying us to do anything. It's more so we made the decision now because we have the choice. Ain't nobody holding us by no shackles no more to say that they making us do something. They portraying us this way. We are controlling our own narrative, and it's up to us to make sure we're pushing the right narrative, not just for today, but for tomorrow, to make sure that our children know that they don't also have to follow the Freaknik narrative.
World. There's studies out there talking about how when black girls answer back to the teacher with a little bit of passion, or they have a little attitude because you've said something to them and you act in a certain way and a teacher doesn't really understand, well, that's just her personality and not necessarily a sign of disrespect. She's just showing her emotions and her passion like someone else might show it in a different way, but it's still emotion and passion. They get into serious trouble for it, and the discipline rates for black girls in schools are astronomical. We talk about black boys and how they get in trouble in school, but we don't talk about the punitive damages that black girls face for being black girls.
I grew up in an era where my mother taught me to walk on both sides in both lanes. I knew what to do to get the job, to get the grades, because being in an integrated school system and in early integration, a black girl had to be a certain way. It's almost like she was a black girl, but really acting like a white girl.
And see, for me, for those who do not know, I went to Catholic school from kindergarten through 6th grade, and that really exposed me to being the only black in my class, where I came into my classroom and the teacher's like, come in, we're not gonna bite, right? That's what I went through when I was coming in, let's say, to the 4th grade. I remember that time. And I think it's so important sometimes that we invest more into our children's education, but also make sure that they're exposed. They're equally exposed to both ethnic groups, main ethnic groups, white and black, for example, right? I went to school that's primarily white, Went to a majority Caucasian school, right? But I made sure that I was around my black folks, listening to my good music, exposing myself to what black culture was about at the same time. So I didn't forget that, okay, I'm not the same. I still have to remember who I am and stay true to who I was, my culture, because that's who I am at the end of the day. You can have whatever education you want, but you still gonna be a Negro in somebody's book. I'm just saying, I'm not about to rep the Oreo card. You got to know who you are, got to know where you come from, but you still got to know who to work with. And that's the thing. That's why I didn't go to an HBCU. I went to a PWI, a predominantly white institute, not because of, just certain things. First of all, I wanted to stand out. If all of us are black people, how can I stand out from the rest? I know I can, but I'm saying that I went to a PWI to let you know that, hey, I can be just as great or better than you can, right? While not faking it. I'm just being myself, and I gotta prove myself to you. But once I do that, I ain't gotta prove myself again. And I have no problem proving myself to people. That's what we gotta understand, is we're trying to be like other folks, but just let them know who you are. Introduce them to who you are instead of trying to fit your life to be like them, because you'll be forever trying to keep up with the latest trends of other folks instead of trying to realize the assets, not this thing that you're sitting on, but the assets that you actually have is in here. But you got to unlock that power, but you're so focused on what your outside looks like because you're trying to compare it against what every man likes. You're trying to keep up what this man likes. But if this man don't like you for who you are, then it don't matter what kind of surgery you get. It doesn't matter. You can get the surgery all you want, the mommy makeovers, the BB fails and all of that, the 360, the makeovers that y'all are paying for, going into debt for a disservice. Going into debt for a disservice. I'm asking y'all, can the real black women please stand up? Can the real black women please stand up? Please. Do me an honor of being able to applaud y'all once again. Thank you, because it's hard to find black women out here who's real, who are true to the game, who are saying, I know who I am. I'm carrying my dignity. I ain't got to fake it for nobody, because at the end of the day, only person that's going to love me the way I deserve to be loved is first and foremost God, and then secondly myself. I gotta love myself. I can't be hating myself. I can't be trying to be a little piece of Indian, little piece of Mexican, little piece of white, little piece of that. I'm trying to be all these different folks and I don't know who I am the whole time. It's an identity crisis. It's a case of who are we? What is our purpose? My purpose is to look like somebody else while still telling you I'm black, but everything about me is saying that I'm whack because I don't know who I am. We gotta check ourselves because we already wrecked ourselves.
In order to get what she needed. But then when she came home, it was being able to throw that persona off and be the person you were, the black girl you were. But you had to be almost schizophrenic in order to get the job, to get the education, to get what you needed in order to be, quote, middle class. Mm-hmm. What I think is happening with our girls now, because they've been raised by mothers like us, is that they've always been outspoken because their mothers are outspoken. And because they've grown up in an integrated society, they are no longer mealy-mouthed. They speak what's on their mind. That's right. And they also believe in who they are. They are strong because we raised them that way. Mm-hmm. We have told them, don't let anyone define you. You know who you are. Right. But you're right. That's what gets them into trouble. So it's not our kids who need to change, it's the people around them who need to appreciate who we are.
But what are we talking about here? This culture that we like to call black culture, and now when you act the way you would act in your community, but you go out into a majority white world, you're looked down upon. And that's by design, because the whole design was to make black people feel inferior. So everything about being black then became inferior. The way that black women talk, the dialect that we use. In the workplace, in corporate America, we were told that we're not legitimate. And it's not because it was different. It was because it benefits white society for black people to be subjugated.
Right, absolutely.
So we have to stop with the looking down on each other, black women. We have to stop sort of feeding into that idea. My grandmother would pop me in the mouth if I used language that wasn't correct English, right? And what she was beating out of me was saying that what you've gotten at home, what you get in your community is not good enough. And we got to stop that. I mean, I love my grandmother. She was trying to protect me, and I get it. But we need to understand that it was a protective mechanism, and it's not necessarily the truth.
Right.
Well, I don't necessarily want someone speaking to me in incorrect grammar. I'm going to be
when
really
you go to Jamaica, though, when you go to Jamaica, it's not incorrect. It's based on what is used
I
in
want
that
my subject and
space.
verb to be where they're supposed to be.
I want
Okay?
them to agree.
And I really think, I hear what you're saying, but we're not in Jamaica, we're here. And the reality is very simple. First of all, they look at us, and that is how they first determined whether or not you are someone I want to deal with. And that means, are you middle class? Are you lower class? And as educated as you are, a lawyer, what's the reaction you think most white people have to you when they see you on the street?
Let me tell you, I don't know, but, and I'm gonna be as righteous as I possibly can just to put a little extra on it. I don't care what they think. I'm done defining myself by what white people think. I'm done with that. So we can sit here and say that's not what they hear when they see you, or white people expect you to be a certain kind of way. But outside of being living through a strategy, like, I will take it on as a strategy to maybe make more money, to advance my career, but I'm not going to define it as wrong. That's all
How
I'm
do you
saying.
react when black women look at you and say,
When black women say to me?
Well,
Yeah,
here's
but
the crazy part is that
Yeah.
if I'm standing, depending on who I'm standing in front of, they make the decision on what they think I am. So I could be standing in front of black people, and black people may think that I'm bougie. Hard to believe, but there are moments when folks think that Deneen is a little bougie, which I think is
Maybe.
crazy.
well, how do
because-
you define bougie?
I'll stop it right there because plenty of times I've been called bougie. It is what it is, and I really take it as, hey, thank you. I take it as a compliment more than anything, because I think it's just that I have a standard that's above normal as it relates to the way I carry myself, the way I communicate, the way that I do things. It is what it is. But you cannot say that you don't care what the white folks think if you live in a white world. It is what it is. If that man is the man that's cutting your paycheck and he white, best believe that you're going to have to respect this person if you want that job. I don't care what color you are. I'm going to respect you. And if you have higher authority than me, then I'm going to make sure to present myself as best as I can based off of the way I think that the world needs to be presented. I want to be able to be, I have been before. I am that one black person that white people look at and they say, oh, she's different. The reason I am is because I understand that we don't have to, we got to know when to turn it on and turn it off. I'm talking about the ratchet activity. And some people just live for the ratchetness because that's all they see around them on a daily basis. Just imagine, and if I'm a pig and I'm always in a pig's pen, when I leave the pig's pen, I'm still going to have the mentality of the way I was before I left the pen. Y'all understand where I'm coming from? If you're from the ghetto, many of us are, right? You're from the ghetto and that's all you've been around and nobody around you is doing positive things, then you're going to, when you get out to the real world, it's going to be a shock for you when you see people who are not acting like this. And then you're going to have to learn to adapt. You're supposed to learn to be that person who adapts to any situation, any ethnic group that you encounter. Not just to say, take me as I am or have nothing at all. You have to be adaptable to people. That's an attribute that anybody in this world should learn how to have, is being adaptable. But saying I'm going to take my ghetto-ness to Wall Street, well, that's not going to happen. You can create your Black Wall Street, right? Like we used to have. You can create your Black Wall Street and act a fool like that if you want to. But I'm saying sometimes you're going to have to adapt to what other people are dealing with. Not what you think is best because of the way you were raised. Because just because you were raised that way doesn't mean that that was the right way. Nope, it doesn't. Goodness. Right. It's nothing wrong with being bougie because they carry themselves like a refined woman. I'd rather be called bougie than ratchet any day. All right. That's all I gotta say. We're gonna continue to listen. And ghetto doesn't have a particular color, in my opinion. Ghetto just means, hey, you gotta do better. It just means you gotta do better. Like what you're used to isn't the standard of professionalism. That's what ghetto means, in my opinion, is that this is not professional. This is the opposite of that. That's why we're having these conversations right now, because I think we have certain stereotypes, but most of that can be negated if we learn that it's not about just us sometimes. It's about how we are perceived. We are not just representing us on a daily basis. I'm representing the whole community to let people know that what you saw on the EBT Awards is not what you're seeing today. I'm not that. We are not the same. I'm trying to let you know that each and every day, we not the same. Sorry, it is what it is, and you can't claim some of these folks. We may be the same race, but some of y'all just don't represent us well because everybody's listening to the hearsay, what they see on the radio, what they see on the TV, what they hear on the radio, hear on the news, and they think all of us are pretty much Negroes that don't know how to act. NWA, Negroes with attitudes.
I've been told so.
No,
Lord,
seriously.
This is.
And before I get into it even more, I forgot to give a shout out to Corey Joe. I appreciate you. He said, hello, Chels. Keep up the good work. And I appreciate you so much for your support. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate all of y'all showing love, just supporting me, just rocking with me. I appreciate that so, so much. So thank you. I appreciate the live liners, a.k.a. my family, first and foremost, because family is not blood. It's the ones who be consistent with you and realize that it's about improving each other. We're all trying to improve over here. We're all trying to have these conversations that we rather have than to hear about the demise on the news all the time. We're just trying to bring some light to the situation, but we have to call out the negative in order to reinforce the positive.
This is a big issue. I'm gonna just tell you.
No, because you gotta define it. But what is bougie?
It's different for everybody, but
I'm fluent in bougie.
Bougie, bougie, when it has a negative connotation, is when you behave as if the people that you're talking to are not as good as you.
Right.
Right? Like you are better than other people. I have been called bougie my entire life.
Yep.
And I never understood why it was a bad thing to speak the King's English. I never understood why it was a bad thing to hold my head high. I never understood why it was a bad thing to advocate for myself. But when you're in a community where people are not given opportunity, where people are marginalized, and there's a lack of confidence, people who have confidence look like they think they're better.
Right.
And so I think that we have a lot of these issues in the Black community where we are fighting against each other because we have so much. I mean, it's intentional division. You know, we have been taught that in order to succeed, you have to compete with the next Black person. Therefore, you have to make the next Black person not as good as you. So I mean, it's a
But then go
touchy situation.
But then if I go and stand in front of white folks, or when I used to work in an office with a predominantly white, workforce, then I'm considered ghetto and ratchet. And I'm like, that is so not the way that I was raised. I don't know where you're getting that from. And that's when the bougie comes out. That's when I get real fluent.
You got to help me here. I'm still trying to define the word ratchet. How do you define ratchet? And I know I'm not the only person in this room. What is ratchet?
Okay, so you saw Girls Trip, right?
Yes.
Okay, so you remember the character that Tiffany Haddish played?
Yes.
She was the wild one who walks and is like, ow! That's
Wild.
ratchet as hell. Like you walk in and you fill the entire room with all kinds of color and language and body movement.
My mother would just call that being loud.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
And to us, that's normal, right?
Right.
But then for other people, there's they've colored it with a derogatory, stereotypical name, ratchet.
And it's overlaid with like a certain type of music that you listen to, a certain type of way you dance, a certain type of way you use the English language, how much you cuss, how much you, how vulgar your language is necessarily, how sexual your language is. All of that can interplay into this definition of ratchet. But ratchet is just, it's a new cultural term that we use to describe music and other displays of sort of Black community.
That, on
identity.
Saturday night with my mom and her aunties was just them being mom and my aunties. But it wasn't
to somebody else, it would have been ratchet.
to somebody else today with that, with that moniker, that's what it is. But to me, that was just them having a good time on a Saturday night.
So what do you think you're stereotyped as? You said just a moment ago, people sometimes think you're ratchet, but
It really just depends on who I'm standing in front of. So if I'm standing in front of some Black folks and I'm talking like this, then I'm bougie. If I'm standing in front of white folks, I'm putting on airs when I'm talking this way. But if I decide today, I don't feel like messing with none of y'all, and I'm gonna stand here and I'm gonna recite Jay-Z lyrics, and I'm gonna be at my desk like this, and then I'm ghetto or ratchet. But I'm Deneen.
So,
Doggone it.
Monica, what's your stereotype?
My stereotype, and because, you know, having been on television for 37 years, my stereotype is always people see me as upper middle class, bougie, and then when I tell them I'm the first person in my family to graduate from college, only the second person in my family to graduate from high school, then all of a sudden it changes. Then it's like, well, how
gave you
did
some
you get
street
to where
cred.
you are? No, then it becomes, well, how did you get to where you are? And then all of a sudden it moves you into poor little black girl, which is a
okay.
whole nother
Okay.
area. So I'm always careful about who I give my background information to.
My main thing is here. No matter who you are, what you do, you're going to be stereotyped. You're going to be stereotyped just because of the biases we've been raised up on, right? That's just one thing we can all agree on. We will be stereotyped. However, the main thing here is that make sure that you are being the best you can be, right? Just knowing that if you acting ratchet, you gonna get stereotyped as ratchet because you are doing that. You are being that. That's who you are. So you can't be mad when somebody stereotypes you correctly. They judging you for who you really are at that point. All right. So I have no problem. I have no problem with being considered bougie. I have no problem with being considered, you know, you talk white, even though people are so stupid. I never knew that you could talk a color. You know what I'm saying? But people have the tendency to want to tell you this and that to get rid of their insecurities that they have. They trying to judge you for whatever reason. But I think certain conversations like this are needed. But I think women today are feeding into those stereotypes because if you look at the thumbnail right here, right on the left of this thumbnail, as I'm going off here, it's a person named Sexy Face. Is this her name, y'all, with the red on? Let me know if I'm right. Sexy Red. I'm over here talking about Sexy Face. Sexy Red is the girl named in the red. And then Krishan is the girl in the yellow. And last week I was talking about Blueface. Who, that's his baby mama that's pregnant on the left here in the yellow. And he was going out with his other baby mama who had 2 children by him the last episode that I have. So anyway, this is Krishan. She's pregnant for this man, got her belly out, and the Sexy Red, as they call her, because we're not calling her that because that's not nothing sexy about that, right? But she has a song out here that says my P is pink, and I'm abbreviating here. My P is pink, my booty hole is brown. Okay? That's what she said. She was literally rapping this at the EBT Awards. She was rapping in the crowd. My P is pink, my booty hole is brown, y'all. This is what we're dealing with. So when you see me come for these females, I'm not calling them women. When you see me come for these females like this, it's a reason. It don't make no sense. Got a song called Pound Town. And then, let's say, for example, you know, Nate Dogg and Ludacris had a particular song called I Got H's in Every Area Code. I think that was Ludacris and Nate Dogg at that time, right? So then there's a girl named Callie. They kind of made a remix talking about I got H's in different area codes. So like the women are doing the same thing that the men were rapping about. They're talking about it as well, thinking it's okay because if the men can rap about it, then the women can as well. It don't make no sense. But I want to give a shout out real quick to Janesta for the $2 where she said, sis Chelsea, you are wise beyond your years. Thank you so much. I'm thankful. That's a flex for me because you're not going to see me rapping about that. You're not going to see me rapping. Like, you know, I'll be doing my little rhymes here and there, but you're not going to see me rapping about no, this is this color, that is that color. It doesn't represent me at all. I'm so thankful that my mother raised me, a single mother, right? But look at the odds. I'm over here beating them because I'm not about to be no single mother. You get what I'm saying? Let me get my English correct, right? I've come from a single mother, but a single mother isn't going to be from me. Like, I'm not going to represent that. You get what I'm saying? I'm going to beat the odds. I'm going to beat the stats on that because I know better. When you know better, you do better. And if you don't, you end up like these women we see on the EBT Awards that's doing everything such as twerking and acting a fool. And I want to give a quick shout out to Theo. I appreciate you for being here. Yes, let's get Mona. She only needs 22 more people, y'all. Let's get Mona to 1K. Make sure you subscribe to her because you know I'm rocking with her. And if I endorse anybody over here, it's definitely going to be Mona because she's been rocking with me day one. She's been A1 since day one. That's my girl, of course. Make sure y'all subscribe to her because she has great content. She's been working hard, putting in that work. Y'all know what time it is. It's a family over here, and that's why we're going to be rocking with Mona. Okay, that's what we're doing tonight. So make sure y'all subscribe to her. Thank you, Theo, for being here. Thank you for the love. And shout out to Medium Man as well. I appreciate you. Thank you. Look, in the kitchen, wrist twisting like it's stir fry. I have to cook on folks who deserve to be cooked on. We slow roasted on these H's over here. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to keep it real, trying to keep it PG because they making a fool out themselves. What can I do? It's only so much I can say, and they don't want to hear it from men because they say, I'm tired of listening to what men have to say. Well, unless you're going to be dating women, then you're going to have to listen to what men have to say. Right, you're going to have to listen to what men have to say if you want to be with the man. But most of y'all so desperate, y'all might just end up turning to the ABC community because that's all that's left. I'd rather just be by myself than go turn to the ABC community because I'm so desperate for a man. Like, I don't want a man, right? I don't want a man, but I want a woman that look like a man. I can't get with that. I can't understand that logic there. Basically, I want a man who ain't masculine, so I'm going to go ahead and get somebody who looks like a man but is feminine. Y'all are really faking it. That's what I'm saying. You got to understand your identity. But like Team Peterson has said, you should laugh when someone says you sound white. Like, what does the color white look like? What does the color white sound like? I'm waiting. You don't say I'm waiting. But seriously, we raising too many baby mamas out here. We're raising too many baby mamas. So many baby mamas have been created all because they're listening to songs from Uncle Luke, 2 Live Crew, all these different people. But today it's gonna be the same thing repeated. And I don't know what the future looks like when you have young girls who got these attitudes that doing the little dances on TikTok to all the trending songs. They know more songs than I do. I can't even keep up with them even if I wanted to. And y'all think it's cute now when they're kids until they grow up and they turn a big kid. And then that granny turns into a little, it's a granny, but they really still a little baby. Just got older, but didn't get no wiser. I'm telling you. I showed y'all before that grannies were twerking for the twerk competition, getting down, bending it down just like they were doing back at the Freaknik time. There's no difference. They just getting older, knees cracking, bones cracking a little bit more, but ain't nothing changing about the mindset because they want something that they never got before. They still want that attention. They don't want to grow older. They still doing all the things that try to make them look younger on the outside. The Botox, the lip fillers, the mommy makeovers. You have to keep getting them over and over again, honey. I just want to know what's the recipe of a real black woman. What percentage of you is real? Are you 100% real like you say you are? Or is there something you need to work on to make sure that you are really real? So let's continue watching this real quick as we talk about the stereotypes of black women. And if it's not a stereotype, y'all know I'm going to call it out because that's what we do over here. But I appreciate y'all for rocking with me strong over here.
Mm-hmm. Because people can switch like that.
Right.
Other stereotype, they just always assume you're a Democrat if you're reading a story, or they assume you're a Republican if you're reading a story that you have a view that they don't appreciate. Right. But most often people assume that I came from a silver-spooned family because I speak well and dress a certain way. Right. I can tell you when I changed my hair from straight to natural, the audience went crazy, and it was mostly black women who told me I needed to go do something to my hair. White people thought it was cute, and except for a few who told me to go back to Africa, but they didn't like me anyway. Right. But there were those who really said, I'm so glad you're embracing who you are.
Listen.
Black women rode me out on a rail.
I promise you, coming from a media background in New York, the only people who ever gave me a hard time about my afro were black women. That was it.
We've got to take a quick break, but if you want to know what a professional black girl is, stick around because we'll be joined by the professional black girl in just a minute. We'll be right back.
When I say I'm a professional black girl, I'm not identifying as someone who's well accomplished in her job, her career, or her profession, though I am, be clear. When I say I'm a professional black girl, I'm announcing myself as someone who takes being a black girl very seriously, like to professional levels. So whatever it means to be a black girl, I'm that.
All right, before we get into it, I am going to just basically stop right here real quick, okay? I'm going to stop right here and just give some shout outs to a couple folks, such as my bro, Kings and Dreams. I appreciate you for the 10 ball saying salute. My sister Chelsea Cooking, Modern Women Maker. Look, thank you, bro. I appreciate you for being here. You said embrace those RPs. Let me know what that is. Oh, yeah, I got you. Yep. Yes, indeed. We're going to call it out over here. I appreciate the love. And make sure y'all check out Kings and Dreams as well. That's my guy. If y'all can drop his information in the chat, because he's talking about how the men are traveling and they ain't coming back. So stay tuned for that. We're going to talk about professional black women, some more stereotypes, because we know we got as soon as I hear a woman saying she's strong, it just doesn't, it's like a repellent against the word woman. You can't have the word strong and woman in one sentence, because women weren't made to be strong. We weren't made to be strong, whether it's physically or really like mentally strong. Like obviously got to be mentally strong, but I'm saying that that mentality is for the man to be strong, and we're supposed to submit under him because of his strength. Not us trying to be the one that leads the relationship and wonder why it doesn't go anywhere, and you're going around in circles and circles because you got with a man who didn't know his place. He didn't know how to lead you. He was raised maybe by a single mother. That's not always the case. No, it's not. But I'm just trying to tell you today that you got to make sure you're picking the right person. This is a lifetime decision. That's why you choose wisely. Not for the moment. I already told y'all, now and later. Y'all got, a lot of y'all got nows. It looks good now. It feels good now. It tastes good now. It sounds good now. We look good now. The pictures look good now. Until the later. They want this much in child support. They want this much in alimony. They want this much in this and that and this and that. And over again, we are setting ourselves up for failure because we're thinking about the now instead of thinking about the later. That's why I'm saying that you got to be careful who you pick, because most of y'all are picking off of looks, and I'm not saying that's not important, as you already know, but it's so important to realize that you get this woman, this one black woman, she looks fine, she looks like the letter S, but she really was a snake on the inside, and she really was for the streets, but you couldn't change that 304 to a housewife. Sometimes you can't convert, honey. So it's best to sometimes pick that woman that looks like that housewife at first, because you'll be a little bit satisfied later on in life when you can sit back and know that God made sure that you found that good thing. Proverbs 18:22. He who finds a good thing oh goodness gracious. He who finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor from the Lord. All right, Proverbs 18:22. He who finds a good wife. But I'm saying, for you to try to convert her and change her, that's too much on your plate, man. And then you're going to be stressed, and it's not going to work out for you that well. Just saying. So be careful when you want to find them fine looking ones, because they may not be fine on the inside. Let's continue this conversation talking about professional black girl and what does that mean. And then also, real quick, shout out to King and Dreams once again. Kings and Dreams, that is. He said, I meant to say modern women maker over. Yes, I was about to say, because I'm like, I ain't trying to make no more modern women. It's too many of them. But yes, modern women makeover. Yes. Keep doing the great work. Thank you. I'll be cooking on your channel soon, sister. Yes, we definitely got to collab. Definitely. I'm about to get my calendar together for July so we can link up and talk some real talk over here. I appreciate you. Thank you so much, Kings and Dreams. Let us continue, y'all. Appreciate y'all for rocking with me. We won't be here for much longer, but we are going to cook while we're here. Can I get some plates? All right, can I get some plate emojis, some cook emojis, some spoons, some something? Because we about to cook up in here in just a bit, y'all. I appreciate y'all rocking with me.
It looks like you. It looks like Taraji at the awards jumping up to hug Viola Davis. You know, it looks like Mary and Taraji and Kerry in that Apple commercial. You know, it looks like me rolling up to a room full of people in Berlin to speak with my bamboo earrings on.
Welcome back to A Seat at the Table. I'm so excited to welcome my girl, Dr. Yaba Blay, to A Seat at our table. She's a professor, an author, and the producer of the popular web series, Professional Black Girl. You know I gotta give you that.
Extra, yes.
Hey, babe.
Well, you know, I've got to ask, what is a professional black girl? Define it for me, please, Dr. Blay.
So simply put, a professional black girl is a black woman, a black girl who is committed to being a black woman or a black girl. Like, she's unapologetic about her blackness and her girlness, and she shows up in a way and performs her blackness and her girlness in a way that connects her to other black women and girls. I teach at an HBCU, and what I've noticed for a lot of our girls is that a lot of other administrators and professors and black women in their lives tend to train them away from themselves, thinking they're helping them to be professional. And so for me, as a black woman, single mother, single grandmother, PhD, I want to be an example to them that you can be whoever.
Uh-oh, not that PhD. Run it back, run it back. Y'all know how it goes.
Tend to train them away from themselves, thinking they're helping them to be professional. And so for me, as a black woman, single mother, single grandmother, PhD, I want to be an example to them that you can be whoever you say you are.
And the reason I'm bringing this PhD up is not obviously to say, oh, don't get your PhDs. I'm not saying that whatsoever. Y'all know what it is for those who have seen Kevin Samuels before. It's that, oh, like, we think that that title, that educational title, is going to basically cancel out any of the titles mentioned before that. That's why I bring that up. Oh, I'm a single mother. Okay, but that's, you know, that's bad, but I'm going to just keep going. I'm a single grandmother. I would even say, if you are a single, okay, if you're a single, you a single mother, single grandmother, I've never heard nobody even say that before, that I'm a single grandmother. But anyway, I'm a single mother, I'm a single grandmother, but oh, I'm a PhD. So the rest of that doesn't matter. I made mistakes before, but I'm a PhD. I got my education. I got my education in the books, but I didn't get my education in that world, which shows from the repeated behaviors that we have. That's what I'm saying. I know a lot of educated dummies, unfortunately, because you picked the wrong thing to get educated in. It's important to educate yourself in all areas. Otherwise, you're really a dummy. You can't just be smart in this one area and then fail in that life. I'm just saying. So you talking about, oh, I'm a single mother and a single grandmother and a single auntie and a single... all of that. Okay. Shout out to Eric with the 5 talking about cooking. Whipping it up. We whipping it up over here. Thank you, Eric. I appreciate you cooking them eggs. All right. Shout out to Team Peterson saying, not a husband among these boss babes, SMV or degree. That's what I'm saying. All right. Make it make sense. I appreciate y'all so much for rocking with your girl today. Let's continue this conversation as we listen to what the professional black girl looks and sounds like.
And still be professional. So using professional in this term, professional black girl, is a way of turning that meaning on its head and claiming it for ourselves.
I want to know how you came into being you.
My parents are from Ghana, so they're like, are you smarter than them? Well, that's all that matters, right?
Yeah.
But for me, smart was easy. I wanted to be pretty.
Yeah.
I wanted to be accepted. And I didn't have anyone around me necessarily saying, you're pretty. I mean, your parents tell you, but they're supposed to tell you, right?
Yeah. Right.
But I remember a family friend, Auntie Janet, who was an African-American woman from Harlem, New York, and she was of lighter complexion, and I just remember being little, and every time she would see me, she would make this huge fuss, and she would, like, run across the room and grab my face and be like, okay, tell me your secrets. What do you use? And I'm like, I don't know, it's Vaseline, you know? But she made me feel, and I remember just anticipating I'm gonna see Auntie Janet because she made me feel so beautiful, and it felt authentic, you know? And so now being a mother of a black girl and a grandmother of a black girl, like, I'm trying to do for them what someone did for me. You know, and I think it's parenting is the hardest job, right?
Yeah.
That we'll ever have, and no one really teaches you how to be a parent. And so I think it absolutely does take a village, but everybody in the village ain't right. So
Preach.
we have to be intentional
bars
about
right
who
there.
we allow, right, around our children and what messaging they get. So for me, it's something as simple as I wasn't allowed to play with white babies.
Yes.
My daughter's wasn't allowed to play with white baby dolls, and neither is my grandbaby. And funny story, recently, Christmas, distant family member wanted to get her a baby doll for Christmas and bought her Baby Alive. And apparently, you know, last minute Christmas shopping, they ran out of the black one. So she thought she was gonna do one better and get the Hispanic one. And my grandbaby with her little braids and beads on the end saw that baby and was like, but I'm a black girl.
Yes.
And I was
See,
like,
this is what I love about
Yes.
this. And I also have to say that your work has been freeing. And I think that I would have expected to have been more accepting of Black women in all of its incredible forms and manifestations. Watching your web series showed me that I was still holding on to some of those stereotypes that my grandmother, who I said before, was trying to protect me and believed that assimilation was the best way for my success and not authenticity. And the idea that we're going to choose authenticity and force people to give us the success that we earn without having to assimilate is magical. That
What I've listened to so far is the fact that, look, we try to be somebody we were not because of what we were exposed to, right? For us women specifically, we know that, okay, we wanted to get the white dolls because everybody else was getting them until a point in time in which we saw who we were through those dolls. And then my mom made sure to purchase me black dolls at that point. But remember what was the standard. So we saw, oh, they had straight hair, they had this and that, and we desire to be that. But I don't know who we desire to look like now. Because I appreciate women who rock their natural hair, obviously. Whatever style you want to wear, you wear your own hair, salute to you. Salute to you if you are wearing it, if you're able to wear it. Let me just say that correctly. Because there's a lot of women today who may have alopecia, may have cancer. I'm going to be sensitive to those things, of course, and realize that use it for its purpose. If you're a child with cancer, things of that nature, of course. Use the wigs, wigs, of course, in that nature. But many of y'all are starting off with the wigs, right? Y'all are starting off with the wigs, and then it's giving y'all alopecia. It's giving y'all the ripped off edges and all of that because you started using that, but you had hair, but you said, no, I don't want to do this and do that. I don't want to mess up my hair, so I'm going to put this wig on. But you realize that gluing that, you put all that glue on your hair, and then now you've glued your brain cells together, so there's no functionality going on. And you lose the edges, you lose everything, and it's not allowing you to think straight. You tear that stuff off, and you have nothing. Nothing. That's what I'm saying. These younger girls, y'all got hair, but if y'all don't, you would rather spend the money the outside for the surgery. You got the BB fail and your hair is looking like it's in BB hell. Like, it just don't make no sense. That's all I'm trying to get at, is that prioritize what's important for you, because y'all can't say that, oh, I'm getting a wig because, oh, my hair messed up when I go to the gym. But most of us know we're not going to the gym. We're not. I go 3 times a week. But most of us are not there. That's what I've seen. I want to give a quick shout out to Kings and Dreams again for his commentary. He said the only degrees they have is degrees of separation. Like, the further you get educated, the further you losing on these opportunities. I'm not saying don't get your education. Obviously, I'm an advocate for it. As long as it don't put you in so much debt that there's no turning back, right? What's the purpose? I wanted that MRS. If I can get that MRS, I'm going to get that MRS degree, the Mrs. degree. That's my goal as well, because I don't want to be out here in these streets. I'm not that person that say, oh, I want to be single for life, this and that. That's not my goal. I want a family. I want to actually be a wife. I want to be a mother. I want to have a legacy and all of that. And that means that I can't be out here for these streets, and I don't participate in the streets activities. No way. I don't, and I'm so thankful for it. So keep getting degrees if you want to. Degrees of separation is further separating you from what could be good for you, because you're not focused on that. Whatever you pay most attention to is what you're going to receive. All right? If you put the man on the back burner, then forever he will be. Shout out to you, Kings and Dreams. Said, intention, ma'am, winter is here. It's so cold in the D. It's so cold. It's getting cold out here, y'all. It's getting cold out here. People cold-hearted. These streets ain't for everybody. So stay warm. Just saying. I'm going to continue this conversation, though. We only got a little bit. I'll be out of here in the next 11 minutes. I appreciate y'all for rocking with me, though.
Yeah, or it could be as simple as not thinking about those people. Like we spend so much
Right.
time talking about they and they think and what they gonna do. Who are they? What about you? You know? And
Right.
so this notion of like seeking affirmation from other people is one thing. Like how beautiful is it to affirm yourself? And for me, like I think that flipping moment is experiencing that uptick that we had in the assassination of Black people publicly in the streets. And I'm very much thinking of the case of Trayvon Martin, and I remember, and I don't know if Geraldo said the exact words or if he implied it, but in so many words he said that, you know, well, maybe if he wasn't wearing the hoodie.
Right.
I remember
Yes.
And in that moment, it was just very clear to me. It's like it wouldn't matter what we do. It don't matter how you wear your hair, how you dress, you know, how you speak, where you went to school. They see your Black skin, and that's it.
Right.
You don't even have to open your mouth.
Right.
You know, so for me, it's like it's not gonna save you.
Right.
So you might as well be free.
Right. Be
Don't
free.
you find it fascinating right now, at least I do, when I see a young white girl with dreadlocks, or when you see a young white kid trying to be Black, and you wonder what is really going on here.
I'm not fascinated by that.
Because I'm wondering how their parents are
Hello.
reacting. But seriously, there is this whole culture now of white kids trying to be like Black kids.
Right.
Here's my issue with it. I can't stand it when I spent a whole lifetime trying to appreciate and love so many things about me that I was taught to hate
Yes.
at every turn, on radio, on television, in movies, in magazines. Don't care for your dark skin. Your big butt and your hips are never going to fit into these jeans, so you won't be cool because you can't fit Jordache jeans. Nobody gets to wear their hair like that. It needs to be straight and permed or whatever it is. And then to have some white woman come over and perform or think that she can just put on butt implants or pop some cornrows in her hair and some big chunky earrings
And
think
blows up
that
her
some-
lips.
and make that seem like now she's all of a sudden cool and hip because she's looking like me and performing me. I cannot take it.
Yeah.
Because everything that I went through to finally get to the place where I can look myself in the mirror and say, I'm perfect exactly the way that I am, to have someone come along and not have to go through what it took for me to get there and then just put it on and take it off tomorrow.
But that's the
No,
difference
that's a
between
problem.
appreciation and appropriation. That's appropriation. Because it's not appreciating.
I don't see anybody appreciate. If you're rocking cornrows and putting butt implants in your behind, I'm sorry. That doesn't
Right.
feel like appreciation at
No,
all.
no, no,
to
no.
me.
I mean,
And I don't think it's appreciation either. Y'all, did y'all remember when I think it was Kim Kardashian? I don't know who else did it, but she had the cornrows in and whatnot. She had the cornrows in, was trying to, I guess, be Black. As we know, we can call that trying to be Black because we know that Black people were the main ones wearing braids, right? We were the main ones rocking braids. Cornrows started with us. So for that reason, that's trying to act like that. That is cultural appropriation. So I do agree with that part because we're also doing it. We're also doing it as well, obviously, because of the fact that whoever started the BBL, I guess Kim Kardashian started with that stuff first, and then now all these Black women are getting it. It seems like mostly Black women are trying to get BBLs. I don't know, y'all tell me, but so many women are dying from that stuff, dying on tables, and it's not funny anymore. Like I told y'all think these people are certified. Y'all going to these people who are board eligible, but not board certified to get these BB fails. Y'all going and y'all are sometimes dying on this table because maybe you may not die on the table, but sometimes you can get an infection days after you get a surgery because blood clots, things of that nature. Y'all think just because y'all come out that table, everything is okay. You got these pains, you got these draining tubes, you coming out of y'all sides, thinking that stuff is cute, walking around hurting. Let me tell you, I went to the gym yesterday, worked on glutes and things like that. I'm gonna build my behind in the gym, okay? I told y'all, Dr. Jim is my favorite doctor, okay? That's as simple as that. Results will come when due. Results will come in due time. I'm not about to be going through all this pain, right? I'm not going through all this pain just to be looking pretty for a little bit till that stuff starts to sag and gravity takes effect. Do y'all know that y'all gonna have to keep up? And that's the thing about it. It becomes an addiction. It becomes an addiction when you get one surgery and then you say, oh, I wanted it like this, but it came out like that. So now I got to go ahead and get another surgery to fix up what I just messed up from the previous surgery. I'm telling you, it becomes an addiction. You sometimes not going to be one and done. And if you are, then fine, do as you please. But let me tell you, as soon as the man you with don't like something else about you, then what? I tell you, I lost weight. And certain things may have to sag because I lost over 70 pounds at one point in time. And it's just going to be what it's going to be right now because life is going to happen. You're going to love me or you're not. And I'm not about to be going through these tables, dying and getting diseases because I wanted to look pretty for right now. I'm going to love myself the way I am. I'm just thankful. And like you said, Del Day, thank you for being here. Competing for the same piece of pie and literally, no, it ain't worth it. It's not worth it because what's the outcome? How do you know the outcome is the favorable desire that you desire, right? It's the BBL. Look at Lil' Kim. Yeah, look at Lil' Kim. She looks crazy. I know Lil' Kim, somebody who didn't love herself all because she wanted to compete with the women that Biggie liked. Biggie liked the light-skinned women, Faith Evans type, the Latinas and all of that. She went to bleach herself and got that MJ makeover. Was it really worth it? Even the same thing. You know I love me some Janet Jackson. Y'all know I love the Jackson family as well. But I'm saying y'all had to get, I thought y'all noses were so big because society was telling y'all that y'all had big noses. If nobody told y'all that y'all had big noses, would y'all have thought y'all had big noses? So what I'm saying now, you got it so small. You know I love me. I told y'all I love me some Janet. I love Janet and the Jackson family. I'm not taking nothing away from their talent. But I'm saying y'all got the noses so small that I'm wondering, can y'all really breathe? You get what I'm saying? Can y'all really breathe? Do those noses. Because, honey, it can be a struggle with a regular size nose. So just let alone a small nose like that. That's what I'm saying. We getting these surgeries to look good for other folks. That's the point I'm trying to make. Lil' Kim looked great. You cannot tell me. People can't even tell the difference between like Lil' Kim before. If they never seen her before, they wouldn't even think that was the same person. They say, you lying. You lying. Broken, busted, and lost. Look, it literally stands for, somebody said something about baby legs. Something like booty with baby legs. Let's continue this rest of the conversation. Just want to hear what these ladies have to say, just to give a different perspective, because y'all hear from me. I'm one woman, but I want y'all to hear from other women as well.
But appreciation is understanding what you went through and what you had to go through to get to a place where black is beautiful for you, and being a professional black girl is natural and authentic, and you don't have to try.
I was just going to say, I think it's what Greg Tate refers to as everything but the burden. You know, we have, we've always been mainstream culture. You know, they've not put our face to it, but we've always contributed to culture. We just haven't gotten our credit. And so for me, like, I felt you was feeling some type of way.
You want to get me to get the shape.
But like when we get to the place where like we appreciate all of who we are, all of who we are, genuinely, you can look at Kim Kardashian and laugh like that's cute for you. You tried it. You know what I mean? Like, do what you do, boo. That's cute for you. But for me, so part of the intention with Professional Black Girl is to say our pride should not be reactionary.
Oh, I
we
like
get in
that.
the front end of it and say, this is who we are, this is how we do. You're going to give us some respect. So no, you don't get to call it boxer braids because we've been calling it cornrows for centuries.
Right.
You know? And so that we claim it, we trademark it, as it were, you know? And don't feel shame about it, because that's the thing. We spend a lot of time, I think at least, my experience of social media's appreciation of Black Girl Magic is elitist in some ways, that we have to be the young sister who gets accepted to every Ivy League school for folks to want to interview her and celebrate her. But where's the sister who got accepted to every HBCU?
Right.
Okay, so now you've moved us into where I want to go. Let's talk about Black Girl Magic. You're right. We hear about the girl.
And is there a thing called Black Girl Magic? That's what I'm trying to figure out. I think Black Girl Magic is gone. I don't think there's nothing magical about a lot of these black females per se. Oh my goodness. They're telling you all the magic they can do is in the bedroom. Seriously. Oh my goodness. It's so scary out here. I'm telling y'all. Y'all bet if y'all took a listen to this music, it will really hurt your ears. Your ears will bleed from the nonsense you hear these women rapping about, the same stuff. These are Little Kim Juniors of today. And the Trinas of today. Seriously. Oh my goodness. Y'all just have to hear about it for yourself. I can't tell y'all what they saying. I gave y'all a little sneak peek of Sexy Red, which is not sexy about nobody, but Sexy Red talking about what's this color and that color, like we in elementary school somewhere. But it's a scary situation. So let's wrap the rest of this up with these ladies.
Girls getting into this school. Why don't we celebrate the HBCUs? But more importantly, how do we define Black girl magic? Michelle Obama has it. Is it an it thing?
Every Black girl has Black girl magic. I mean, it's innate in who she is. And I think that we're calling it out, and we find opportunities to call it out. But just like your Aunt Janet would come and shower you with affection and love, all the affection and love you deserved, and you know, more. Calling out Black girl magic is just calling out what all Black girls have. It's just recognizing it. It's not something that you have to work hard to get or you have to do something to have. Like, every Black girl is magical.
Okay, Dr. Blake, how do you define it?
I just think that, like, we can all find our lane. We can all find the thing that is magical about us. But as a whole, particularly in this moment, we're seeing Black girls winning all over the place.
Right.
You got Ava DuVernay, you got Issa Rae, you have Marley Diaz. Y'all got a Black mayor.
Right.
What's
Yes, a Black female mayor. Her name is Keisha.
Yes.
Her name is Keisha. Right, absolutely.
And Keisha's not out there changing her name to Kay.
Right.
What is her name? Lance Bottom?
Keisha Lance Bottom.
So it's not Kay Lance Bottom. She wants you to hear Keisha.
Like, my
right.
name is Keisha, be clear.
You
And
know?
that's what I love about us. To me, Black girl magic, and I feel like Black girl magic has become such a cliche at this point. We've said it so much. I prefer professional Black girl.
Okay.
Because I feel like, that's encouraging us to be exactly who we are, and I cannot say it enough. How important it was for me to send my Black daughter off to Yale and encourage her to be exactly who she is in every manifestation that is, depending on what she feels like when she wakes up in the morning.
Right.
That to me is strength. It's not magical, that's her. And if you can be yourself, if I get to walk out of this room and be fully, authentically Deneen and not care what you have to say about it,
Right.
then I win.
Right.
Yeah.
And the other thing, your daughter has supported Yale to help her be her Black professional self,
Absolutely.
which is also different.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think it's also important to note that this notion of being yourself is to understand that human beings are dynamic, and so we have multiple selves. And I think if there is something magical about Black folks, is that code switch is real.
Right.
You know, and that able to be flexible and fluid and be a different articulation or manifestation of yourself in a different environment doesn't make you fake. It doesn't mean you're performing. It means you are.
Right.
Right.
You're getting in. You're
Nimble, yes.
dancing. You know.
Right.
You're getting.
See, everything old is new again. Code switching. Dr. Yava Blake, thank you so much for being here with us and breaking it down for all of us. The audience, you all were absolutely wonderful.
Awesome,
and
ladies. Thank you. Okay, let us continue this real briefly here as I want to talk about who was performing at the BET Awards. Y'all let me know if y'all know these folks before I wrap it up for tonight, because that's why I asked y'all on a thumbnail. I was like, this is what I asked y'all on the thumbnail. Harpo, who are these women? Because I don't know who they are. So let's go through it and see like who these different women are that was performing. For example, Bia, I don't know who she is, but I thought she was Sweetie for a second when I first saw her. I just don't know who she is. But like I said, Baby Hair is activated. Here goes another one, Big Boss Vet. I think that's her name. I don't know these people. That's why I'm talking to y'all, because y'all may know better than who I am. Better than I know, right? I know the OGs, the Big Daddy Kanes, right? People like that. Coco Jones, another one who was showing a lot of skin off while she was performing at the BET Awards. I guess she's an upcoming star. Again, I don't be watching these TV shows or nothing like that to know. You got the OGs like D Nice, who was actually rapping about something back in the day, right? That's what they were doing. Doechii, I don't know who this is. That's somebody else new to the game. I know the OGs E40, right? You get me? These are, like you said, the Devil's Row. I hear you all the way. Let's see who else we got. Glorilla. What her lyrics look like, y'all? Because I don't even know what she be rapping about. I heard about her, though. Oh, the FNF song, that F word, N word free. Right, I remember that. And I'm not going to rap about it. Okay, but that's Glorilla. But that name just sounds very aggressive, because you're obviously trying to call yourself a gorilla, basically. Glorilla. Okay. Ice Spice. Here's another one that be rapping. He's talking about some Ice Spice. Yeah, like a lice. I'm not gonna make fun of these folks, but that's another rapper out here. All these people look, they look the same. They're whatever. The girl named Callie here, right? I don't know who Libianca is. Lola Brooke. This is somebody else. Baby hair is activated. I got the MC lights, right? Like I said, let your talent be your talent. At the end of the day, I'm gonna keep this going. Now, Patty, like I said, Patty LaFell, that Tina Turner tribute. You got Rod Digger, one of the originals, and you got Remy Ma. Remy Ma, like for her to be a wife, she had a particular jumpsuit where her one leg was out. And I just said to myself, you are a wife, so you should make sure that you are looking the part at least, okay? But that's just some of the people who performed at the BET Awards. That's the end of that. I just want to ask who these folks is because I don't know who they are, but I know that I'm just going to salute. Again, I love my black women. But I don't love ratchet females. So I'm just going to give a shout out once again to the black women showing me love, who are out here representing GOD, who are out here representing their husbands. Even if they don't have one yet, they're representing themselves first and foremost and know how to carry themselves as a lady. I appreciate y'all ladies so much. I love y'all. I just thank you that you are basically being the light in the world that other women need to see. And hopefully one day they will get on program before it's too late. So again, I want to give a shout out to everybody who tuned in tonight to recognize that there are some real black women out here. I know I'm one of them because I ain't got to fake it for nobody, right? It is what it is. But is there hope when it comes to sisterhood? This is what I had to say earlier, and this is what I will say again. And the same thing goes for women. It's called That's My Sis, That's My Sis. And I'm telling you, sis gonna mean strong, independent, and single. Sis is going to mean strong, independent, and single if you keep listening to your little sisterhood crew on the side who ain't got nothing going on for themselves and been doing the same thing every single day of the week. As simple as that. I let myself leave out with that exit. I have nothing else to say, but I appreciate y'all for sowing a seed into Chelsea's Live Line, showing me love as always. Let's get our sis Mona to 1K. Make sure y'all subscribe to her channel if you haven't already. We're getting her there because we're saluting people who are working hard, who are grinding behind the scenes and offline. So I love y'all so much. Appreciate y'all as the live liners. Thank y'all family for showing me love tonight. Y'all did yourselves. I hope to see y'all next week, God willing, and I'll be talking to y'all soon. Stay safe on these streets because it ain't for everybody.